I'd like to start this off by first asking you guys, how many of y'all miss your childhood? Why I raise the hands. Exactly, right? Just the thought of not having to do your homework or submit assignments and a deadline or pay bills and do rent and all these regulations and rules put in front of you. Just thinking about it makes me want to go back to the times of missing teeth and broken bones. But in all seriousness, there's this underlying message in indulging in this bliss of being a child and recognizing the freedom of our adolescent years. And by doing so, we overcome these lines that were drawn in order to constrain us. We get the ability to color over these lines. As a kid, you're allowed to be yourself more than you are as an adult. Adulthood is calculated, expected, and rational, whereas kids don't go about following rules or regulations. They live their lives to their own amends, and this beauty of immaturity should never be taken for granted. There's a false misconception, a false mentality that of the amount of value that our youth years hold, and just leaving them behind is the right thing to do. Yes, it's important to learn from our past mistakes, but sometimes it's just as crucial to find that inner child within us once again in order to see individual growth. When we are innocent, we rarely hold the bias that most of us are exposed to through adulthood experiences. When we are young, we rarely think of the future. This pureness and open-mindedness allows for us to live our lives in a way that most adults can't. These are words that were once said by an American author by the name of Patrick Fruitfus, who described that childhood can be seen as a passing state if we begin to hyper-focus on the future. The day that we begin to stress about what surrounds us and what lies ahead of us is the day that we begin to leave our childhood behind. In a bustling market between the busy streets of Seattle, everyone is stressed and everyone is in a hurry, and fish are being thrown everywhere. The fish philosophy is a set of principles that originated from the Pike Place Fish Market in Seattle, Washington, and developed by John Christensen in 1998. The philosophy is based on the energetic and positive atmosphere of the fish market, where fishmongers go about their day with enthusiasm, regardless of their monotonous and physically demanding nature of their job. There are 4 key principles in the fish philosophy, but I like to focus on one: play. Play emphasizes the importance of incorporating fun, enjoyment, and creativity in school, work, and our day-to-day tasks. When we are faced with a tedious, tiresome, and overall work-heavy assignment, it's important to incorporate these elements in order to enhance our creativity, our learning, reduce stress, and cause overall satisfaction after we complete an assignment. Play also teaches us to incorporate elements of creativity in order to see individual growth in the future. Play tells us to show adaptability and flexibility for today's ever-changing world, 2 very important qualities. When we incorporate play, we can see that there's a fine line between fun and work, allowing for there to be an overall happier journey of life. Most teenagers find it exhilarating to find a job and go out into the world and get a career and get into a relationship. But as a teenager myself, I'm quite the opposite. I despise having to say my last goodbyes to my parents before venturing off into a world I barely know. I'm afraid of all the challenges and problems I'll have to face, and all the more stress that'll come with being a real adult in the real world. And most of all, I'm depressed over the thought that having to grow up means I'd leave the child I've known my whole life behind. And so I began to feel this indifference to kids my age, and I was drawn to the lives of children. I found my escape from reality as I discovered just the amount of impact that their little fingers can hold and their mischievous minds. And by tutoring kids and running summer camps and pretending I was their pet dog, I found just the amount of gravity that these fingers can hold. In a world where we see in black and white, their smears of color remind us that we are still human. And so I find this passion and attitude in everything that I do. I ask myself, what would a 6-year-old do? Should I really care about what I'm doing right now as much as I am? Or can I just ignore it all and be ignorant to it all and have a good time? And one of the most important questions I ask myself is, what decision do I make in order for my future self to be happy? A question that most of us in this room today did not give enough thought about. And so you might be wondering, what does any of this have to do with you? Well, to answer that question, it's not to morph yourself back into your 6-year-old body, but it's instead to reflect, understand, and implement. Reflect on who you are as a person today. Why are you stressed? Where are these sources of stress coming from? Is it at school, work, with your friends, family? And understand that you are in control of everything that you do and everything that you say. You're in control of your body language, your mindset, and most importantly, your perspective for the day. So, I'm telling you right now, embrace your inner child. And by embracing your inner child, it's not about rejecting maturity, but rather it's about seeing each day with imagination, creativity, and wonder. And by embracing your inner child, it's not about clinging on to the past, but rather it's about seeing each day with the significance of a child. And indulging in this bliss of being a child and putting forth these aspects of a child, we see each day with more compassion, more enthusiasm, and overall more resilience in the face of adversity. And so the next time you're given the chance to dance in the rain, don't be afraid to do so. Don't be afraid to see each day with the wide-eyed wonder of a child and chase your dreams with boundless imagination. You're given these opportunities in order to keep your inner child happy. So let them free and let them have those opportunities. My last piece of advice to give to the audience today, for you guys all to hear and take away, is this. The next time you're given lines on a page that were drawn to constrain you, don't be afraid in coloring over these lines. Thank you.